Hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll be discussing the syllabus of governance in detail. So let us begin. At first, we have government policies and interventions for development. In this, we will have government policies and interventions in various sectors such as health, gender, education, poverty, economic and nutrition sector. The schemes which are in news or which are based on current affairs, like we have NEP 2020, Poshan Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Nidhi, or the policies such as One Nation, One Ration Card, or the Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Act, or Consumer Protection Act. The bills, acts and policies which are in use, you should be able to analyze them, that why were they needed in the first place, what are the pros with respect to them, what are their shortcomings, what are their concerns and issues, and you should be able to suggest improvement in them or way forward, what way forward can be there for these schemes. Like say concerns and issues for ration card scheme, the concerns and issues can be there are inclusion error, there are exclusion error, there is leakage. So like this, you should be able to suggest concerns and way forward. The schemes and policies will change every year and will mostly be based on current affairs. Then we have development processes and development industries. In this, we have provisions for third sector in Indian Constitution. What are the provisions we have? Like we have 97th Constitutional Amendment. Then we have Article 43B in Directive Principles of State Policy. So various provisions we have. Then we have classifications of NGOs, SHGs and cooperatives. In this, you should know the definition of each one of them. Okay, how are they classified, what is the difference between all three, and what is their mandate. Then we have national policy on voluntary sector 2007. You should just have a brief overview of this policy and what way forward has it suggested for the voluntary sector. Then we have non-government organizations. In NGOs, we have role and impact of NGOs and the issues with them. The issues with them are accreditation, legitimacy issue, like they do money laundering. Then we have accountability issue, that they are non-transparent. Then we have foreign funding issues, that they try to destabilize India with the help of foreign funding. Then we have self-help group. Why do we need them? What are their benefits, weaknesses and challenges? One of the challenges is that they have financial issues. Then they lack skilled manpower. They have organizational challenges. So these are challenges. Then what measures to make SHGs more effective? What measures we have taken till date and what measures we can take in the future to make SHGs more effective. Then we have case study of Kudum Shri and Mahila Arthik Vikas Mahamandal in Maharashtra. Then we have cooperatives. Why do we need them? What are the constitutional provisions, like 97th constitutional provision? The national policy on cooperatives 2002. You should just have a brief overview and you should look at the recommendations. What recommendations has it suggested for cooperatives? Then we have issues and challenges in cooperative sector. And at last we have societies, trust and philanthropies. What is their role, what impact do they have, and what are their issues? And then you should keep a tab on current affairs with respect to this area. See, for NGO, this year there was FCRA Act. So like this, you should keep a tab on current affairs for various NGOs, SHGs, the policies or the bills which government is bringing with respect to them and what is happening with respect to them. Then we have important aspects of governance, transparency and accountability. In this we have governance, good governance. What are the dimensions and aspects of good governance? We have accountability, transparency, citizen participation. These are the dimensions and aspects. What are the barriers to good governance? See, one of the barriers is that employees are not properly trained. Another barrier is that there is no mechanism to ensure that there is a proper feedback, or there is no mechanism to ensure transparency. So these are some of the barriers. Then we have necessary precondition for good governance. What are the necessary precondition? One of the necessary precondition is that there should be digitization, then there should be transparency, there should be accountability. So these are precondition, and how we can ensure good governance, that should be known to you. Then we have e-governance. What are its application, where e-governance can be applied, what models can be used to apply e-governance. Then we should know about successes, where has e-governance been success, like we have Passport Seva Kendra, we have Project Bhumi in Karnataka. So here there have been successes. What are the limitations? One of the limitations is there is digital illiteracy. Then we have digital divide. So these are the limitations. Then we have potential. What is the potential? One of the potential is that we can digitize land records and can reduce corruption. So this is the potential of e-governance. And then you should know about the recent e-governance initiatives by both center and state. What are the recent initiatives they have taken? Then we have citizen charter. What are the components and features of citizen charter, and what are its 6 principles? One of the principles is that the consumer must have choice, so he or she should be able to choose from a variety of service providers whenever possible. Then he should get value for money. Okay, so like this there are 6 principles. Then we have shortcomings of citizen charter. One of the shortcoming is that there is no feedback mechanism. Then the employees are not properly trained, or they do not know the philosophy of citizen charter. Then we have another shortcoming is that the people are not aware about citizen charter. So like this, then what are the measures that can be taken to make citizen charter more effective? One of the measures is that Sevottam model can be adopted. Okay, Sevottam model is a combination of Seva plus Uttam. Uttam means excellent. So this model can be adopted to make citizen charter more effective. Then we have aspects of transparency. So in aspects of transparency, what are the aspects of transparency? See, at first the information must be available to the public. Then at second, the information should also be accessible. It should not be only available, but it should also be accessible. At third, we have the government. The government must ensure that the RTI activists or the whistleblowers are protected. Okay, they are not threatened. Then only we can ensure transparency. So these are the various aspects of transparency. Then we have elements and types of accountability. What are the types of accountability? We have horizontal accountability, vertical accountability, accountability towards public, etc. And what are the means to ensure transparency and accountability? So RTI, social audit, Lokpal and Lokayu, whistleblower protection bill. So these are the means to ensure transparency and accountability. Then we have role of civil service in a democracy. Civil services, what are their constitutional provisions? Like we have Article 323, that should be known to us. Then we have advantages and issues. What are advantages and issues of all India services and permanent civil services? Then the role played by civil services, that they play advisory role in policy making, they act as a watchdog, they do record keeping, they act as a channel of communication. So these are their roles. Then what are the alignments and issues afflicting Indian civil services? We have inefficient incentive system, outdated rules, red tapeism, poor pay, tendency to capture power, etc. Okay, then we have at last structural and changes needed in bureaucracy and reforming bureaucracy to strengthen democracy. Okay, what are the reforms needed? Reforms are needed in recruitment, training, evaluation, governance, and e-initiatives and probity area. This you can find in the 75 strategy of Niti Aayog. And at last, we have police structure, functioning, issues, and reforms. In this, you should know how police is structured. It is still structured more or less on the 1861 Police Act. Then, how does it function? What are the issues? One of the issues is that there's manpower issue. The police does not have adequate manpower. Then there's budget issue. Okay. Then the police does not have adequate knowledge of new crimes such as cyber crimes. These are some of the issues. And what are the reforms required? In reforms required, you should know the Supreme Court judgment on Prakash Singh case. Okay, then you should know about the recommendations of the second ARC. So like this. So this more or less concludes our governance syllabus. So thank you.